Alright, hello everyone. My name is Disc, and this is a Halls of Atonement 20. We are Tyrannical, Quaking, and Inspiring. Not a bad combination at all. And this is a pretty good run, for myself at least. We had a few hiccups, but no full wipes. So let's see how we do here. For the first shard, I spend my opener just dotting as many people as I can. We really want the HPS from all those dots. And first PI is going to our Monk, Schism, and Boon. I was favoring Nova there for a second, just while all the mobs were up. Only weave in the blasts when you need the healing. And our Mage ate a frontal, I think. But yeah, non-fortified here, so we got through that really quickly. And going into pull 2, Boon is almost ready. I always like to throw a Mind Soothe on the Gargan, the Stoneborn I mean. We just don't want it to engage prematurely. And right here, I pain sup our tank. I'm using that 8-second window just to get some more dots out while I'm waiting on Boon. So Schism, Boon. Favoring Nova here, we have a large group. And it looks like I only Nova'd. So when it's a large group, you kind of have to weigh your, your cost-benefit analysis. If the group is too small, straight Novas aren't going to be the right choice. But if it's like a medium to large pull, straight Novas will be a better choice. You'll get more DPS output per global, and you're going to be gaining more stacks of your Boon of the Ascended. Always trying to hit that 100 mark, 99 mark. Have to be really quick on those dispels with the Siphon Life. They have a return to the caster. And Boon wasn't ready yet, so for that first thrash we mitigated with a Shadow Fiend followed by a Schism. And for this 5-pack, I want to atone everybody in the group with the tank last, Schism, and Boon. And I'm definitely going to use Nova Blast here. It's not a large enough group to favor only Nova. Plus, I want the single target of Blast to take down our Tormentor. And I definitely think I dropped a PI, so shame on me. I think I needed to use it on the shard, and it never happened. And then I got out of sync with my party for the Tormentor, plus using it on the Tormentor pull isn't the best idea anyway. But I'm sure I drop it in this next group. Yeah, I said it in party chat. I do my best never to drop one. As a priest, disciplined priest with PI, you want to use it every 2 minutes. You almost really never want to hold it. There are some places where you might want to intentionally hold, but that wasn't one of those spots. But looks like my party members are available again. Probably going to give it to our Monk here. After he casts Win, and before he casts Bone Dust Brew, we'll give full duration to both of his cooldown windows. So I'm just opening with a handful of dots, Mind Soothe the Stoneborn, atone a couple of our party, Schism and Boon, And for this, I'm favoring Nova, and I can already tell that my eruption is going to happen too late. So I cancel Aura just a little bit early to make sure that eruption hits mobs. And I notice our monk did not full send with PI, but I don't really have room to talk this dungeon. So again with the shard, we're opening just with as many dots as we can. It's a non-fortified thrash, so it's not super threatening. But getting all those dots out will definitely help pad your meters for the AoE. And Shadow Fiend and Schism to mitigate that one. I opted not to use a cooldown there. The fight was almost over. I didn't really want to drop the mana using Rapture or Barrier, so I just let the attack hit. Radiance and Schism, that was enough to get through it. And this is a pretty large pack. Some will die quicker than the rest, so I want to get into Boon quickly, but we're waiting on Schism. So as soon as Schism's available, Schism Boon. Yeah, and was a little late to the party, but favored Nova there. And I even canceled my boon early because I could tell it was gonna erupt after combat ended. Eruption is the most valuable part of boon when it comes to HPS and DPS. You never want it to hit nobody. And right there, I don't really trust mages with their blinks. Arguably he might have blinked out of the way of that frontal attack, but I gripped him. Always nice to use that spell. I really like it, but I find it pisses people off. And I don't really get why. They feel like it's, what I'm picking up is they feel like it's disrespectful or something, but yeah, I don't mean any disrespect when I grip you, I just like that spell. And I try not to do it as a troll, so sue me. But here we go on boss, we have PIs, so that's great. And we're taking ads to have a boss funnel. I just want to get all my dots out. I'm keeping an eye on my monk for my PI target. There's PI. And oh wow, yeah, that really sucked. I got arcane locked for 4 seconds, preventing me from going into boon. And I missed a lot of DPS and a lot of return because those ads were dead already. Yeah, getting arcane locked, not great with Quaking. Did I miss a Schism too? What the fuck? So with Tyrannical bosses like this, we just want to DPS as much as we can. So Shadow Fiend is a great DPS spell. So we Shadow Fiend followed by Schism, pump that single target as much as possible. But thankfully I did get some return from those ads. So Boon is about to be available for a second time. And we're going to pull more ads into the fight. So I want to get my dots on those guys, Schism and Boon, and this time I'm going to get all the return possible. For our Demon Hunter who got hurt there, I used a Blast Shield Blast pattern. I didn't want to waste the time to cast a Radiance. Not everyone needed healing, and I didn't want to use the time to cast Shadowment either, so I just wove in a shield in between the blasts. And while we have 3 mobs up, I'm just using Mind Seer as much as possible. Boss 1 down. Really not a problem. For that boss, you really just want to pay attention to mechanics. There's only a couple. And just practice your DPS rotation. You always want to keep Solace, Penance, Mind Blast, Shadow, or Death on cooldown. You want as little uptime as possible. And using Schism to maximize your Boon and your Fiend. And this is a little skip trick that I like. I Mind Soothe and Fade, Mind Soothe again, mount, and I run through before my fade fades. Don't need to use a pot or anything. And here's our Echelon. This was a really good fight for us. I judge this fight by how many people dodge the leap. It is completely avoidable, and we dodged all of them here. So first round of adds, I'm not going to boon. Everyone else is going to be in a cooldown window, and they will die way too quickly, eating up my return. So PI on our monk. I just Mind Seer for the DPS. And went to our mage. That's great. He can blink. I always practice feathering the leap target before you're frozen. That helps him dodge. But the mage has blink, so that's fine. And being that we're Tyrannical, there is no reason a leap should hit you here. It is not a healer mechanic. It is not a soak mechanic. It's a dodge mechanic. And with Tyrannical, you just don't want to get hit. Feathered our mage again for the leap, and he blinks out the way. And getting a few atonements out, here comes my first boon. Schism and boon. While the adds are up, I just favor Nova. Work in a Radiance. And only work in a couple of blasts for the healing. And that was really clean. Feather the mage again. He blinks out of the way. Dodged. So, Quaking isn't too bad as a Discipline Priest. I always try and line up my instant cast spells like Solace or Shadow or Death right at the tail end of that Quake to prevent like DPS loss. And here are the adds. I'm just using Seer, and I'm targeted. So thankfully I got a decursed. I feathered myself, jumped out of the way. I did not hit as many adds as I could have, but if you replay that, you'll see all of my allies were grouped on top of the adds. So I was faced with a choice of, do I want to have the leap hit the adds and my allies, or just hit one add and pump the boss, and that's what I went with. And I get into another quick boon here, just trying to get as much DPS out as I can with all these adds. And boss is over. I didn't get much return there, but next we have a Tormentor. And for Varuth, I wouldn't have used boon anyway, so I pumped it right there at the end of the boss. And always trail in a barrier at the tail end of that cast. We want the barrier to be active for the AoE and the dot that goes out. Pumping as much DPS as possible here. I try and precast a Radiance before the AoE. That's a great way to mitigate that damage. I'm trying to keep my DPS spells rolling as much as possible, but Atonement heals don't really do much here, so we do have to Shadowman spam a little bit more than I would like to. And there's our crit buff. I'm going to feather our tank for the rally. Gave him 2. And then also placed 1 for his return. And a fat intercept with a grip. So right here, you can fade and start healing everybody. There's really not much aggro that's gone out yet. It's been a body pull, so you don't want to be healing without fade. And there goes our PI to our monk. Got a couple of dots out, and I just want to get into Boon as quickly as possible before these guys die. And I'm favoring Nova because it's a fairly large group. And it went down really quickly. I always throw a Mind Soothe on that Tormentor. Better safe than sorry. And for this boss, we really just want to push DPS as much as possible, but we don't have Boon yet. So I lead with a Shadow Fiend and Schism. Getting back a little mana that way too. Keeping all my buttons rolling. Trying to only refresh my dot in that last 5-second pandemic window. And now we have Boon. We're just waiting on Schism. So here is our Schism Boon. And for a single target, we're using Nova Nova Blast. And I almost got killed there. I think a bolt got off, and I stood in ground damage. I'd have to replay that, but thankfully I was in Boon. I was able to get my health up really quickly. I think I was gambling with that ground damage because I didn't want to break my cast. You lose quite a bit if there's a delay between Schism and Boon. You have to line those up perfectly. And PI is almost available, and I think I give it to our Demon Hunter here. Yeah, PI on our Demon Hunter. He's our best single target. He is in meta, which is a long buff window. It looks like I was quite late on it, but I think he still gets full value, and that's all that matters. Yeah, he just about got full value. The only way I could have done a little bit better there is if I rolled PI sooner. It would have brought my cooldown available just that much quicker. Boss down. And here's our AoE room. Wow, I've never seen that before, but it about killed me. I just roll a handful of dots here, trying to dot the active manifestations. And then I Mind Seer for the DPS. You do want a Boon here, but you want to wait until the last heal is cast. You want your single target of the Ascended Blast on the named mob to count. You don't want to do it before the heal. So Schism and Boon. And it looks like what I'm doing here is I'm Novaing on the ads, and I was Booning the named mob. Favored Nova overall. And then out of Boon, I just Seer. Here's our second Schism, just pumping as much as I can. And this definitely is a hold on Shadow Fiend, even though he's available. We will use him on the boss, and I think the timing would be a little too tight if I used him in here. Probably would have been fine ultimately either way. It's only a 20, but my standard route has me holding Shadow Fiend for the DPS phase on the boss. Get in a quick drink. PI is available. I forget who I give it to. Let's see what I do. So also arguably I probably could drop Schism on the rip just to get one more round of Schism. But I hold for the DPS phase. And I think I'm holding for Demon Hunter here too. So the reason I'm holding PI for Demon Hunter is we don't have Bloodlust yet. So is where I could have PI'd our Monk. He's in a cooldown window without Lust. And our Demon Hunter will be in a cooldown window with Lust. So Lust and PI, really powerful. Tyrannical boss fight also, that tank dot can hurt. You can use paints up there to mitigate. And I get into my Atonement ramp leading with a Shadow Mend. We're loading 2 Atonements in the same global that way. And we have Boon with Bloodlust, so we get our favored rotation of Nova Blast, Nova Blast. We get 2 more blasts that way, more damage, more healing. And yeah, PI is on our Demon Hunter. He gets Lust, Meta, and PI. And here comes our next round. Just pumping as much DPS as I can in that little intermission where nothing happens. And Atonement ramp again, leading with Shadow Mend, Shadow Fiend, Schism, and then just pump your DPS spells. Sometimes you have to weave in a Shadow Mend there, but as expected. And I don't usually drop a barrier for the tank dot, but I did there. I was just trying to be nice, you know. Usually I'll just heal through the tank dot, and he had Bark Skin there, so he could have played that, but he didn't. But that was it, guys. It wasn't my best run. I think I'd been taking time off this week, and I kind of fell out of rotations. I think I dropped 1 or 2 PIs, which is bad. But overall, that was a good run. We had a couple mistakes that we played off. And on the DPS meters, it looks like I'm at 4.5, which is really good. And at the bottom of the avoidable damage, which is even better. And if anyone has wondered who Disc is behind the game, and what I do in real life, please tune in tomorrow for the premiere of America's Got Talent Extreme. I don't know if I'm going to be on the premiere yet or not, but I will be featured as a fire spinner this year, and it's pretty much the biggest accomplishment of my life, and I'm so excited and proud to announce my participation in the show. I've been working for this for a very long time, and it is so sweet to see it finally pay off. And I will attach my promo in this video if anyone wants to see what I do. But we premiere tomorrow, America's Got Talent Extreme, 8/7 Central, I think. And until next time, guys, Disc out.